Good morning to anybody that may be available this morning or watch this later. I've got to say this before I get while it's in my head. I've got to get off my chest. So the conspiracy crazies have risen their heads again. All I try to do is just to reach out to these people and all you do is get abuse back. You get berated, you get abused, you get swearing, you get called names. It's like, whoa, hang on a second. I thought you guys were against tyranny. Tyranny, whatever you want to call it. So the latest one is Ewan Morrison. How cool is that little dork? I sent him a message last night because I heard that there was a comrade in trouble. So I sent him a message and said, look, you might want to reach out to this person. Again, I won't mention names. You might want to reach out to this person. Leadership, is a priority, and it comes with sacrifice as leadership. Because Ewan's the leader of this silly little group that he's got. I think there might be 1,000 members in this group, but there's probably only 50 active, so he's not really leading very much. And then I've posted on Facebook anyway. So what I got back was just name calling and abuse, and I'm thinking, whoa. I'll get back to you in a second. And then last night, Archie Shillman decided to go onto my new YouTube channel and start slagging people off that actually subscribed. And all right, there's not a lot of subscribers, hardly any, but don't slag off the people that are actually there. Don't start having a pop at them. It's not their fault. And this guy's meant to be, a Christian. He's meant to be, I won't say what he called people, but I've posted it anyway. It starts with F and ends in wits. And I don't mean fwits. F-tards. That was it. So Archie Shillman decided to pop up again, and I let him sort of vent a little bit, but then I decided, I don't need to take this crap anymore. And this guy's meant to be a man of God. But to start putting thy brother down is not really Christian like, is it? So, and then so back to Ewan anyway. I don't know what Ewan's thing against me is. I don't know. I don't really care, to be honest with you. He's a little bit of dirt on my shoe right now. When you try and reach out to somebody and say, look, this person needs help, they're not responding to me, you might want to just reach out to this person, and then he told me that this person's downfall was one of my victims. So I've actually been blamed twice now for somebody's potential suicide. That's amazing, isn't it? This is what these people are saying, that that I'm the cause of their downfall. Well, no, hang on a second. Maybe some of the stuff that you're using, some of the stuff that you're spreading, some of the garbage. Hands up.
Maybe them people are telling everyone to not pay the bills.
Well, yeah, maybe because those lot of people out there, right? And this is where my channel gets closed down for medical misinformation. These people should be shut down for medical misinformation. My advice to you is, and some people don't agree with me, but it's worked for me, is that if you are if you've got depression or anxiety and the doctor can prescribe you with some medication, you take that medication. All right? If you are in that place, if you are in the place of despair and don't know where you're going, everything's dark and everything's black, you go and see a doctor. All right? But the problem with these guys is, these conspiracy crazies, is they don't believe in big pharma, as in pharmaceuticals. And whenever they talk about big pharma, I imagine a giant with overalls on, and straw coming out of his mouth, and that's what I imagine a big pharma and a giant tractor and stuff. What they're saying, what these people are saying is don't take your pills, and they're giving out crappy information, man. Because I've never said, I've had people say to me, no, I'm doing all right without it. All right, that's your choice. But from experience, if somebody's depressed, Don't, they're reading all this stuff in these groups, and all this stuff says, they don't do this, don't do that, and go and sit in a tranquil place to cure your depression. That doesn't always cure depression, man. You guys have got absolutely zero idea what you're talking about. I'm talking from experience here, and somebody to send me. I forget the kid's name. Don't really matter anyway. It's irrelevant to me. But sent me a picture, and he said that the top half was like a tranquil place, like a pond, and there was beautiful flowers, and there was grass, and you could sit there, and he said this is a cure for depression, and then underneath it was a pill, and it said this isn't a cure for depression, and I'm like, dude. Also all the depressive would see there is they would see a million ways to potentially top the self. Go on, because you do this and I'm going to lose track. Go on.
No, it's about that.
Go on.
That's all well and good, and I agree. Going back to nature, it's beautiful, can make you feel better, but that's the difference between making you feel better or having depression. If it's actual depression, that's not going to help. If you're just feeling low and down, which people... they throw the term around depression too loosely. That's not depression. If that's going to help you, it's not depression. It's
no.
Feeling low and feeling down.
Yeah. I hope you got that.
And they need to learn the difference.
She probably needs to come onto camera and start, talking a little bit more.
People like that need to learn the difference because they're affecting people badly.
Yeah, you guys that are out there saying, don't take your pills, don't take this, don't take that, you are affecting people in a major way. And these people are your victims. They're victims of your agenda, not my agenda. Okay, my agenda. I've said to people in the past, have you got some pills for that? Go and see somebody, go and talk to somebody. Oh, no, I'm doing all right without it. All right, well, that's your choice, but just know this: my door is always open. Sorry, not my door's always open, but my line's always open. If you ever want to talk, give me a shout. But I also throw into conversation if you actually, anything you say to me is held in confidence, but if you say to me, and you're making sort of noise about doing something to yourself, then I've got a duty of care to then report that to CAMS or to, or to Mind or to the mental health place. All right. So I've got a duty of care to do that. And that's what I would do. So, I don't mind helping people, but what these conspiracy crazies are talking about, and this is the thing, is they go down this route of, like I was saying yesterday, they've got their agenda and that's it, and they'll berate anybody that's got a different agenda against them or that's different to theirs, and they'll talk about this. Ewan posted something about Colin Worrell, who's is a we're going to do a live soon, me and Colin. He's a councillor, or he's wanting to run for council. But this Ewan posted, that this guy is, he's busy pushing his own agenda onto people and this, that, and the other. I'm just like, well, hang on a second. You're actually pushing your agenda onto people. You're actually pushing your stuff onto people. You are giving people massive medical misinformation, and that's not right. You are going to cause somebody some harm one day. You're going to cause somebody to, stop taking your pills. No, I'm sorry, but that's not good advice. That is probably the worst advice you can tell somebody. I know that if I, and this I actually put on there last night about, I'm looking red, I should stop drinking. Well, actually, if you do catch this, which you probably won't, because you're banned from my channel again, because you've been a numpty, it's called Sun. S-U-N. And, you all gone about vitamin D. It's called a tan, sunshine. It's called it's called getting out in the vitamin D area and, getting my vitamin D, which you lot won't know anything about because, I very much doubt you bothered to, wear shorts and a vest, you walk around in your fake Armanis. So yeah, and so this Ewan, he's gone to London, or is in London apparently, and he's protesting and stuff. But they stood outside Parliament, and all I've seen is pictures of him actually sightseeing. Sightseeing, and they posted a picture the other night, and I thought it was quite funny. The freedom fighters, and it was four of them. Four of them sat around the dinner table having some dinner, and it's like, you're not really freedom fighters, are you? I don't think you know, the war in Iraq or the war in wherever, they stopped and said, hang on a minute, no. You know, we need to have something to eat. They kept fighting and fighting and fighting. I don't think, you know, the Battle of Hastings or, you know, the Battle of Stirling or, you know, any battle, they sort of said, no, let's stop, guys, stop. We need some scran in us. Can you imagine that? You know, can you imagine that? The freedom fighters out for dinner. The freedom fighters out sightseeing. You know, I mean, this guy is a bit of a numpty anyway. You know, when I first met him, I didn't think very much of him, and then he got his own voice. So yeah, you know, needless to say that he's, you know, he's giving me grief, but he's loving all my comments. But you're just contradicting yourself. So I don't know what I'm going to call this video. I don't know what I'll call it. I might call it Conspiracy Crazies, I don't know. Or just a Wednesday Rant. So yeah, look, you know, they go out there and they're preaching all the stuff, and, you know, they are giving people massive misinformation on stuff. They're giving people information based on their agenda and based on what they have researched to suit their ideas, their ideology. You know, when they say to people, they tell people, don't take the vax. And I'm like, well, that's not right. You know, it's a choice. And if people want to do it, then they should do it. You know, I've never sort of said to anybody, you know, don't take the vax or don't wear a mask. I've never said that. And I never will, because that's their choice. I do say to my boy, you know, if you walk into, you know, you go into school, you know, don't wear your mask outside because you need it, you know, but if you're in school and you feel more comfortable, then certainly, you know, because that's to make that person feel a little bit safer. And if that's what it takes, then that's what it takes, you know. But these people are just, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. And they are pushing their agendas onto people. And that's wrong. That is totally wrong, because they are against people. They're against the government pushing the agenda, or the government's agenda, or whatever it might be. But yet they're okay pushing their agenda. They're against, you know, they're all for peace and love. You know, back in the 60s, they're all for peace and love, man. But yet they give grief. And I just want to out them. I just want to out them for what they actually are. And they are nothing, really. They're all nothing. You know, some of them are okay. Others are just too far gone, man. You know, to the point where even the people that you think are okay, that, you know, say, oh, hi, it's nice to see you. But the second the opinions change, or the second they hear something, yeah, Michelle, I'm talking to you, they decide, I'm going to block you. I know, right? I know. And apparently I'm a smug, I won't say the second word, but I'm smug. I am quite smug. Do you know why? Because I'm awakened. I'm awakened to your disgusting attitudes towards people. You are disgusting people. And you actually make me a little bit sick to my stomach. I've got no hate for you. I just think you're disgusting. I wish you all the best, but I still think you're disgusting. You know, it's almost like their integrity gets totally lost. You know, they have zero integrity, because one minute they're talking about peace and love, and then the next minute they're calling you a naughty word and attacking the individual, not the actions of the individual. You know, so yes, it's morning. Red Bull. And I think to attack an individual just shows how small-minded a person can be. You know, anybody can come onto this screen now, or can write in the comments, or send me a private message and call me names. Bald, fat, narcissistic, da 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 da. But then I ask the question of myself, and I think, well, why are they calling me narcissistic? Am I narcissistic because I take some pride in how I look? Is that a bad thing? To bath once in a while? To maybe, trim the beard, or, shape it a little bit and actually have a shave, or to, just make sure that what there is there, it's there, it's coming, to make sure that the head's shaved, or, is that narcissism? Or is the narcissism because I do live videos? Is that why they're calling me narcissistic? And if that's the case, well then, they should then go and look at their own people. And yeah, this is the people. I'm going to end this in a second. I'm going to talk about the divide. And I'm going to label it the divide. So they should look at their own people, and they should say, well, okay, well, if I'm calling this guy narcissistic because he does live videos, and because, he kind of is intelligent a little bit, then I should really say that to other people. I should say it to anybody else that does live videos. I should say that to anybody else that has a YouTube channel. But they don't. So I think it's just me. I think I'm just special. And if that's the case, that's perfectly fine. Other than having a different opinion to yours, and basically telling you what I think, which you clearly don't agree with, I don't know what the hell I've done wrong to you. I don't know what I've done. I don't know what I've done to upset you, other than having my own thoughts that differ to yours. But while you're in London, and you're probably waiting to see this, but while you are in London, sightseeing, fighting the good fight. What a moron. Yeah, enjoy it, because, this is another thing he said about this Colin guy. He said that, he's been doing this for 8 years or whatever, and he's got nothing from it. He's not got anything from it. He's not made any progress. Well, hang on a second. You million people, or wherever it is, that go to London and do your protests, you know why you're protesting, but who's listening to you? Nobody. We made history with us. There was 1 million of us. No, there wasn't. There was just ants. There was just 1 million of you walking round London. You weren't protesting anything, because your protest hasn't been heard, and it still won't be heard. Same as the guys that sat outside the BBC in tents. Are they still there? Mind? No. So those guys that were sat outside the BBC in tents and said, "We shall not be moved. We are staying here until this stops." Where are they now? It's just a fashion thing. It's a trend thing. The next big thing. So to go and stand outside Downing Street, all right, you might catch a press conference, but I really don't think Boris is going to listen to you. He's not listening at all. And he doesn't really care about your voice. Because if your voice meant anything, if your presence meant anything, and let's be honest, if any of you walked in a room, I wouldn't notice you. So you have zero presence where I'm concerned. You wouldn't have any presence on the street. I'd walk straight past you and not notice you at all. Not all of you, just some of you that like to, call me names. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but somewhere there'll be a conspiracy theorist offended. Tell you that. Yeah, she does. She's smiling. She's smiling. So yeah, I just think that I had to get that off my chest. I don't know what I'm going to call it. I might just call it Wednesday Rant, because that's what it is. It's just a Wednesday Rant. I might even upload this to YouTube. And then they're also blaming me for the divide. the divide that's happening right now. So I might end this, and then I might just carry on ranting and not even upload it. So if any of you got anything to say, please quit with the keyboard. Send me a message. I will gladly give you my address. I will meet you somewhere. I'm actually popping to Pearson Park on Saturday about 1 o'clock. If any of you got anything you really want to say to me, then please don't do it on a keyboard. I'm not saying this so you can be, so you can say, oh, we're not scared of you. I don't want your fear. I don't want your fear. I just want you to be a man or a woman, sometimes both. And actually say it to my face. It won't get confrontative. It won't get aggressive. It won't turn into, some sort of fight. But if it makes you feel better in yourself to actually physically stand in front of me, get into my face, and call me all the names under the sun, S-U-N, and, slag me off to my face, if that's going to help you sleep at night, if that's going to help you just gain some inner peace, then I'll see you at 1 o'clock. You're more than welcome to come along. It's a public place. But I don't think you do this standing in the park anymore, do you? Because that lasted. I'm more than happy to do that. Just to, make sure you're happy. And I think on that note, I'm gonna go. And that's the bearded opinion.